Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we will be sharing with you a story that is both terrifying and tragic. It is a story of a man who was attacked by an aggressive bear and did not survive. This story will send chills down your spine, so make sure to stick around till the end. The beginning. Our story begins in the remote wilderness of Alaska, where a man named John had decided to go on a solo hiking trip. John was an experienced hiker and had been on numerous trips before, but this time things were different. John had been warned about the presence of bears in the area, but he decided to take the risk. As John set out on his hike, he felt a sense of excitement and adventure. The wilderness was beautiful, and he was eager to explore all that it had to offer. He hiked for several hours, admiring the stunning scenery and breathing in the fresh air. But as the day wore on, John began to notice something strange. There was an eerie silence in the forest, and the usual sounds of wildlife were noticeably absent. It was as if the animals had all disappeared. John brushed it off as a coincidence, but the feeling of unease continued to grow. As he made his way deeper into the woods, John began to feel as if he was being watched. He couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was following him. Every time he turned around, he saw nothing but the dense forest behind him. The day turned into night, and John set up camp. He built a fire and cooked his dinner, but the feeling of being watched never left him. As he settled into his sleeping bag, John heard a noise in the distance. It was a low growl, but he couldn't tell where it was coming from. John's heart began to race as he realized he might not be alone in the wilderness. He knew he had been warned about bears, but he had never encountered one before. Was this the moment he had been dreading? Despite his fear, John refused to let it get the best of him. He reminded himself of his years of experience and his survival training. He would be fine, he told himself. But as the night wore on, the growling grew louder, and John knew that he was in danger. What was stalking him in the darkness? Was it a bear or something else entirely? John knew that he needed to stay alert if he wanted to survive. As he lay in his sleeping bag, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was about to happen. Little did he know, his worst fears were about to come true. At midnight, while trying to sleep, John heard an eerie sound. He then decided to go out of his sleeping bag and see what that was. As John was walking through the dense forest, he suddenly came across a grizzly bear. The bear was massive and stood on its hind legs, ready to attack. John, being an experienced hiker, knew how to handle such situations. He tried to make loud noises and back away slowly, but it was too late. The bear was already charging at him. As John stood frozen in fear, the massive grizzly bear charged towards him with incredible speed. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before. He knew that he had to act fast if he wanted to survive. Without a second thought, John prepared to defend himself. He knew that this was his best chance at surviving the attack. As the bear approached him, John unleashed a cloud of pepper spray, hoping to deter the beast. The bear was momentarily stunned, but it quickly regained its composure and charged again. John had no choice but to continue spraying the bear with the pepper spray, hoping that it would eventually retreat. The bear lunged at John, claws outstretched, and John knew that he was in serious trouble. He tried to dodge the bear, but it was too quick. The bear landed a blow on John's shoulder, sending him tumbling to the ground. John tried to get up, but the bear was already on him, biting and clawing at him with tremendous force. John was helpless against the massive bear, and he knew that he was fighting for his life. Despite his fear, John refused to give up. He fought back with all his might, using every tool at his disposal to fend off the bear. But it was too strong, too powerful. John knew that he couldn't keep this up forever. John was wondering what had caused the bear to attack him in the first place. Was it hungry? Was it protecting its young? Or was there something else at play? The attack lasted for what felt like hours, but in reality it was only a matter of minutes. In the end, John was left battered and bruised, barely clinging to life. He knew that he would not be surviving this truly terrifying encounter with one of the most dangerous creatures in the world. The bear attacked John continuously with its wide claws and strong paws. For the bear, it was just his another prey, and the massive beast thrashed John into two halves within a few hits, which resulted in John losing his life with a hard-fought battle. Hours later, John's body was found by a search and rescue team. He had succumbed to his injuries and had died on the spot. The The news of his death sent shockwaves through the community, and people started questioning the safety of hiking alone in bear country. The news of John's death was a shock to everyone who knew him. He was a seasoned hiker and had been on numerous trips before, but this time things had gone horribly wrong. His death was a reminder that even the most experienced hikers were not immune to the dangers of the wilderness. The local authorities launched an investigation into the incident, hoping to determine the cause of the attack. They combed through the area, searching for any clues that could shed light on what had happened to John. As the investigation continued, rumors started to spread about what might have caused the bear to attack. Some speculated that John might have accidentally stumbled upon the bear's den, when others suggested that he might have accidentally startled the bear. But as the investigation progressed, it became clear that there was no real explanation for the attack. The bear had acted aggressively for reasons that were still unknown. Despite the tragedy, John's family remained steadfast in their belief that he had died doing what he loved. They knew that he had taken the necessary precautions to stay safe, but sometimes even the best laid plans could go awry. The lesson. This story is a reminder of the dangers of hiking in the wilderness. While it is essential to enjoy nature and explore new places, it is equally important to take precautions and be aware of the risks. In John's case, he took a risk that proved to be fatal. We hope that this story will serve as a lesson to all hikers out there to be cautious and prepared for any situation that may arise. The wilderness is a beautiful and awe-inspiring place that can provide hikers with unforgettable experiences. However, it is essential to remember that it is also a dangerous place, full of unpredictable and sometimes deadly risks. Whether it is bears, snakes, or simply getting lost, there are many dangers that hikers must be prepared to face. That is why it is crucial to plan ahead and take precautions to minimize the risks. Hikers should always research the area they are planning to visit and be aware of any potential hazards. They should also carry the necessary equipment such as maps, compasses, first aid kits, and bear spray, and know how to use them. Additionally, it is essential to let someone know where you are going and when you expect to return. This way, if something goes wrong, search and rescue teams will be able to find you quickly. In conclusion, hiking in the wilderness can be a rewarding and life-changing experience, but it is not without risks. We should always respect the power and unpredictability of nature and take the necessary precautions to stay safe. Our hearts go out to John's family and friends, and we hope that his tragic story will serve as a reminder of the importance of safety in the wilderness. We bring you captivating stories like this every day, so be sure to check out our channel for more gripping content. And while you're here, leave a comment below and let us know what you thought of this video. Did you find the story as horrifying as we did? Or did you feel like the man in the story had a chance to survive? We want to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.